Hello guys, and welcome to yet another in-depth review here on NNT Auto Reviews. My name is Tyler, sitting behind the camera, giving you guys all of these wonderful in-depth walk-around videos. Today we're checking out a really sporty looking car here, and it is brought to you by the 2019 Toyota Avalon in the XSE trim level. Alrighty, so for the next portion of the video, we're gonna go over the window sticker features, just so you know how Toyota sets up their window stickers. Basic information up here, like the color, VIN number, all that good stuff. Government safety ratings over here. Obviously hasn't been rated because the car just came out maybe a week or so ago. Right down here we have all of our fuel economy information. Up here is our standard equipment, and over here is our optional equipment. Now this is the part that I really wanted to go over with you so that you have a kind of a disclaimer about what's going on. So first of all, and most importantly, we have the JBL audio upgrade, which is only a $680 upgrade. And I say only because it comes with 14 speakers, and I read about 1200 watts. Now with an Audi or something like that, you'd be paying at least $1,000 for that audio system. You have the all-weather package, which gives you the all-weather floor mats, trunk mat, all that good stuff. The body side moldings, which protects your car from parking lot dings and whatnot. Then you also have door edge guards, which further protects your doors from those dings, from the pesky shopping carts and whatnot. We have an $895 delivery fee and a total vehicle price of $40,172. Now, wrapping around to the side profile of the Avalon, your wheelbase stands at 113 inches on the dot, and the color we're looking at today is Parisian blue, and it looks very nice. It's a kind of a almost grayish blue. Looks really good in the sunlight when the sun is out, and it is one of 7 colors available on the XSE trim level. And so finally, wrapping around to the rear of the Toyota Avalon, front wheel drive is obviously the only drivetrain available thus far. Alrighty, so we could start the exterior details on this very sporty and fancy looking XSE Avalon up front. As you can see, that is one giant grille. Now it seems to be that only part of it is functional. As you can see up here, I can stick my finger through. Down here it's pretty much solid. You have a little bit of more intakes down here, but for the sake of the size of the grille, it's probably the biggest one I've ever seen, and it makes it really aggressive front end. And I usually start off with the headlamps, but this just takes right over this grille right here. So we also have parking sensors that are kind of hidden in the bumper, so you have front parking sensors. You also have the Toyota emblem with all your safety sensors right behind it. Some pretty aggressive air intakes over here as well, and they are functional. As you can see, it goes right out through there and it channels the air around the tire. But getting to our headlights, coming standard on the Avalon is a set of 3 LED bulbs used for both your high and low beams, and they are in a reflector housing. You also have LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. But if we take a look right up here where the sun's shining, you can definitely see the metallic work in the paint, and it looks really good. Definitely a pretty aggressive front end on the new Avalon. So taking a look up here at our hood, it's a rather large hood, which gives it a pretty cool appearance up front. You have some pretty prominent creases on the side over here, and pretty much a flat hood up top. But if we take a look down here, another star of the show are these really nice 19-inch wheels. They are dual color, so you have the machine finish on the face of the wheel and then the black pockets. Gives it a really nice appearance. You You have Michelin tires, and your tires do measure 235/40. Now taking a look down the side, you have completely wrapped chrome windows there with some black accenting, such as on your mirror or the little faux quarter windows and the pillars there. Those are all gloss black. We have our optional body side molding that goes right on down there. And I'll flip around so that you can see the turn signals on the mirror, and then you can also make out your little indicator there for the blind spot monitoring. That'll light up if somebody's in your blind spot. And the door handles also have your smart key entry right there. This sticker I did want to show you, since some people like to see parts content. So actually 60% of the parts come from US and Canada, and then 20% from Japan. As we can see, our final assembly point is in Kentucky. The country of origin for the engine parts are USA, and then transmission is Japan. See our sunroof up top, and then our shark fin antenna back a little further. We have our rear door handles. Obviously our rear wheels. Now our front wheels had ventilated front rotors. These in the back have solid rear rotors, which do just fine. We have our fuel filler on the driver's side. And they really didn't skimp out on the back end. The back end just looks just as aggressive as the front, if you ask me. Again, back here, full LEDs for the rear lights. And I like the appearance of the one continuous light back there. It looks pretty cool. We have a nice gloss black spoiler back here. And a pretty crazy looking bumper from this angle. We actually have quad exhaust tips, so we have a set on this side and a set on this side with a pretty cool gloss black diffuser. We have our Avalon name back here, and then our trim level that is in gloss black as well. And a really good looking exterior for the all new Avalon. Alrighty, so I do apologize for all the construction going on across the street. It looks like they're doing some pretty major project over there. But back to the Avalon, what's important. Under the hood, it does have the standard engine choice, which is a 3.5 liter V6. Nice to see a nice big V6 under the hood instead of some kind of turbo 4-cylinder that everybody seems to be coming out with. It makes some pretty good horsepower figures too. 301 horsepower at 6,600 RPM and 267 pound-feet of torque at 4,700 RPM. Now there also is a hybrid version, and I will give you a slide next to show you all those power figures and whatnot. But for now, this car does have Toyota's own 3.5 V6. Pretty large engine cover, however you can see the camshaft covers on the side there. You have the exhaust that goes out front, and then the intake, which is out back. See this plastic right here, which is the intake. You have our air intake over here with the air box. Your battery is over there. Fuse box. Some reservoirs with some fluid that we could check. And that's pretty much it. A pretty simple engine there, which is good for long term. So as I said just a little bit earlier, this car does have the smart key entry system. It is on both the front door handles, so you can unlock and lock using both the front door handles. But how this system works is, just as an example, the car is unlocked at the moment, as you can see. But if you have the key fob in your pocket, you can start locking and unlocking the car by just touching the door handles. So if you see this little pattern right there, you just place your finger there. One beep indicates locking. And then if you put your hand behind the handle just like normal, it'll unlock. Now stepping on inside, there are two different color options. And you could choose between a black color option like we have here, or gray on the XSE trim. So again, we do have the black interior, and it does come with leather and suede, which the suede adds to the little bit of a sporty flair on the interior. But we could start off on the driver's side here, on the door here, where we have pretty much soft materials up here with a little mimicked carbon fiber trim on the top here. Some nice door handles with your lock unlock. And we also do have that JBL audio system with 14 speakers like I was talking about just a little bit earlier. So that's real nice to see. We have some nice perforated suede right over here. You have some leather armrests with a little bit of accenting. And it feels like it's pretty much soft to the touch down here too, so it's not like a really hard plastic. We have a bottle holder down here and just a little bit of storage. As far as buttons and functionalities, you have your window or your mirror controller over here, your window lockout for the children in the back. You have your lock unlock for the doors, and then all of your windows are fully automatic up and down. We have some really nice looking sills right here with the Avalon name. And the interior is just as sporty looking as the exterior. As we can see, these nice angled vents towards the driver with that trim up top, some leather covering over here. We have some settings over here for your trip, and then also your gauge dimmer. Over here we could turn on and off our automatic high beams. We could turn on and off our traction control. We could pop the trunk right over here and pop the fuel door right over there. Now, while I'm at this position, I might as well point out this lever right here that is used to unlock the steering wheel for tilting and telescoping. We also have our hood release right over here, and our pedals, which have a really nice sporty look to them. You have the kind of aluminum look there and the dead pedal over there. But these seats are very nice, similar to the Camry, but which is a good thing because the Camry had some pretty nice seats if you ask me. Some pretty cool like bronze colored stitching, and the leather is very soft. You have some suede in the center over here and down the sides just a little bit. And the seats are 8-way powered with the 2-way lumbar, so you can go in and out with that lumbar, which is pretty cool. But now let's go ahead and hop in, check out the rest of the interior. We'll start it up and we'll see what the driver's cockpit is like. Finally get rid of some of that construction and wind noise there. So here's the key fob that you get when you buy an Avalon. It's a really premium looking key. As you can see, it's got the Toyota emblem and then the Avalon emblem. And it looks like it's covered in like a glass almost. It looks really nice. Really, really good looking key. Then on the other side, you have the same kind of gloss finish for the buttons. You have a lock, unlock, trunk release, and a panic alarm right over there. And then on the sides, you have some little metallic accents. Then you also have a physical key on the inside in case your batteries die on your remote. All you need to do to start the car is just make sure your foot's on the brake, and you locate the start stop button right there. Press it and then the engine will come to life. Alrighty, so we could start off the driver's cockpit with the steering wheel here, and it's a pretty good looking steering wheel if you ask me. You have some nice perforated section over here where you're going to grab it at the 10 and 2 notches, and then a soft leather up top and down the bottom. We have some nice metallic accents going around the airbag cover, and a whole host of buttons here on the steering wheel. Now behind the steering wheel though, we do have some pretty cool paddle shifters. But getting to those buttons on the steering wheel, on the left side, we're going to have these 4 controls with the OK and the back button. That's used for your TFT in the center there, so that screen in the center up there. We have some Bluetooth controls, your voice commands, and then your audio volume. Taking a look at the right side, we have some media controls and then some sort of safety controls with your cruise control. So down here, this will change your source of the audio, and then over here, this will skip between your different presets. Right over here will let you choose the distance but for your adaptive cruise control. So yes, this car doesn't just have any normal cruise control, it's actually an adaptive cruise control. You have a lane departure assist, so you can turn that on and off over here, and then the rest of your cruise controls are set throughout this circle button right over here. So yeah, pretty much a really nice steering wheel with a whole bunch of functionalities on it. Not too overwhelming, but there are quite a few buttons on the steering wheel there. Looking behind the steering wheel, we have some stalks for our turn signals, our high beams, and then the rest of our regular lights. And over here we also have another stalk for our windshield wipers. Now up here we have our gauges, which look very modern. Simplistic yet modern, which is a really nice design here. So we have our tachometer over here, and then in a smaller housing we have our temperature. Over here we have a speedometer and then our gas gauge down there. And then we also have our smaller TFT, which I'm going to see if I could zoom in on because it seems to be just a little bit dark. I tried the gauge dimmer, but this is the highest it will go. But again, we're going to be using these controls over here to control that screen up there. So we can go across to get different menus, and then we can scroll down to get different submenus. We have a fuel economy screen and then an eco indicator. We have our what's going on with the audio. We have all of our different safety systems, so you can see a pre-collision warning system, blind spot, rear cross traffic alert, a whole bunch of very intuitive safety systems that actually comes standard on this car. So no extra cost for all those safety systems. Then we also have a little diagram of our tire pressures, which looks really cool. All of our different settings to turn on and off our safety systems. We have some settings over here which we could change. Scheduled maintenance and whatnot. So these are all of our different menus that we can configure up here on the little display up here between the gauges. And then our last screen over here is the messages, so any warnings or messages. You need to take your car back to the dealer for a scheduled maintenance and whatnot, that will pop up right over there. So pretty nice upper dash, pretty much soft to the touch too, which is nice. And they also brand the speakers right over here with the little tweeter speakers, JBL. Really amazing sound quality there for not a whole lot of money compared to the other cars that offer a premium sound system like this. So right up here we have a nice screen Really nice screen. It's very clean and easy to use. This is pretty much our home screen, so it's going to display our radio, our economy and trip information. We also have a home button right up top over here on the left, and then what our phone's doing over there. So we do have a whole array of buttons down here, and I'm pretty sure you can make those out. We have a volume knob over here. We can pull up our map for the navigation, which isn't going to work at the moment because this car doesn't have the actual navigation built into it. It'll be coming from your phone, and I believe this car has the Apple Auto and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I seem to always get mixed up in all of my videos. We have a basic menu screen over here which displays all of your different apps, and it just looks, take a look at this screen. I mean, it just looks so clean and nice. Audio screen displays all of our presets at the bottom, then our different sources and whatnot. Phone screen isn't going to show a whole lot because we don't have a phone hooked up. We have all of our different apps over here. So we can go back and forth. You can even look at the stock market, which is pretty cool. We have projection, which again is the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Basic information. And we have all of our different settings which we can configure. I'll go quick through those. Pause the video if you would like to get more information. We have Bluetooth controls, our audio controls there, phone controls, and then our different voice controls. Vehicle settings, you can customize. And that's pretty much it for the screen. I mean, it's a pretty simple screen, but it looks very, very nice. Definitely looks real nice. We also have a digital clock up top, just in case you want to glance at that quick. And I'll give you a quick look at all the buttons on the right side. We have a couple of air vents that are nicely integrated right over here below the screen. We have our hazards button. We have a true dual zone climate control with the temperatures you could set for both the driver and passenger. You could sync it right over here and unsync it. We have 3-stage heated seats for both the driver and passenger. And then a whole bunch of controls right down here. So it is an automatic climate control. You can just press that right there and it will set the climate automatically. We have our defrosters, our fan speed, and then all of our different where you want the air to blow. Recirculating, AC, and then obviously the sync button over there. Now if we take a look down here, it looks like a nice little place to store some things, but actually it opens up to reveal your wireless charging pad. You can turn that on and off with a little switch right down there. So pretty cool. Little hidden tray. If someone didn't show you, or someone didn't show me, I wouldn't even know it was there. So we have a circular cup holder over here, and then a sort of shaped cup holder over here, which I found is a pretty cool spot to put your phone right up there. Just a regular sized iPhone 7 will fit perfect. As far as our transmission, it is an 8-speed automatic, and we do have a traditional shifter. Nice to get away from those cumbersome electronic shifters where you have to learn new shiftments, and this is just straightforward, right back into drive, right up into park. So we're in park at the moment. There's a little unlock lever at the back. Shifting into reverse will give us a nice backup camera. You can turn on and off our guidance lines. These will predict your path with these right here, as you can see. And we have two sort of different views. This is our normal view, and then we have a wide angle view, so we could see all the way around to all of those cars back there. pretty awesome. Look, pretty much a 180-degree view camera system there, which is pretty nice to see. We have our standard neutral, drive, and then we also have a sport mode, which we can start changing the gears manually down here or up here with the paddle shifters. We can put it right back up into park for the moment. We have 3 different driving modes: Eco, Normal, and Sport, which is pretty cool. Sport changes the little line down there to be either green for Eco, just a regular white for Normal, and then red for Sport. We also have down here an electronic parking brake, and I like to see that they put a little cutout for your finger there to lift it up and hook it down, but you guys know how it works. You press downwards to deactivate it and pick upwards to activate it. And once it is activated, you can see a little red light there just to let you know that it's activated. But make sure you have your foot on the brake when you're activating and deactivating. Taking a look over here, we have a nice big long console with some nice stitching. You can definitely share it with your passenger, and it's nice and soft. Press that button right over here and your console will lift right on up. You have a little removable tray with a couple of outlets here, USBs. Actually 3 USBs, and then we also have an auxiliary inlet for your music. Nice carpeting at the bottom. Put our tray right back in there. Also, one more thing that I forgot to mention is the 12-volt power outlet right up there in that little hidden storage place up there. We have a nice frameless mirror up here with your garage door home links, and then you can also turn on and off your auto dimming feature in case that's annoying you at night. Up here we have some lighting controls, LED lights it looks like. Turn all of our lights on with this button right over here. And then we have some more controls for the lighting, some SOS controls up here, so emergency controls. And we also have our sunroof buttons with our shade that blocks 100% of the light. Nice big sunroof too. And we have 2 separate controls for venting and opening. So this one will vent it upwards, like so. And you can press the opposite button to lower it. And you also have the opening button right over here, which will open the sunroof fully, like so. And it'll bring up a little wind deflector up here too. Nice to see that the sliding back and forth is also one touch, so you don't have to keep your finger there the whole time while it's opening and closing. So this car does have a black headliner, which you guys know. In my previous videos, I've told you I'm a pretty much a sucker for these black headliners. They just make the interior look so sleek and nice. Up here we have some pretty nice visors with a card holder and a little mirror with some lights. These visors also extend over here, and they also slide back and forth to cover pretty much all the sunlight from the side. If you're on the highway a lot, that will be very important to you. But since this is a full in-depth review, I'm going to adjust the driver's seat to a normal and comfortable driving position for my 5'10" self. I'm going to grab the keys. We'll leave the ignition on in case there's any goodies back there that we need to check out. But we'll go ahead and see what the rear cabin looks like. So the rear door has pretty much the same materials as up front, which is nice to see. So soft touch, a little bit harder to touch, and pretty much very plush over here where your arm's gonna rest. Some little suede and leather accents over here. You have the window switch, a little tweeter speaker up there, and then a larger mid-range speaker over there. A little bit of storage is welcome too. You have the Avalon sill plates, which look very nice. And our rear seats are also very nice. Same materials as up front again. We have the Isofix for the rear child seat anchors. And we'll hop in and see how much room we have sitting behind my 5'10" self. So a very plentiful amount of space back here. So I'd say 3 to 4 inches of legroom for myself, which is very good. Give you guys a nice overview of the interior here. Really modern looking interior. We have some air vents back here with a couple of chargers. USB. We have a pretty big drivetrain hump, not as big as I was expecting, but if you ever have to carry a center passenger, they're just going to have to straddle that. Sunroof looks pretty good from back here too. We have some LED lights up here. We have a coat hook and a grab handle back here. And then we also have an armrest with a couple of cup holders. Nice place to put your phone sideways there, and some pretty cool accents. So some stitching. It's nice and soft, and then the gloss black, which looks very nice. But for the next portion of the interior, we're going to go ahead and check out the front passenger space, check out the glove box and all that good stuff. So the front passenger door pretty much mimics the driver's door as far as design goes. A few less buttons, which I'm sure you can make out. Same nice materials, a little bit of storage, speaker. We have the Avalon sill plates. So the passenger seat still is powered, 8-way. The only thing they lose is the lumbar, which isn't a huge deal. We'll hop in and get out of the noisiness outside, and we'll check out what's in the glove box here. So we just pop the glove box open, this little button right there. It'll pop right open. So with all the books in there, you can't really see, but it is a pretty decent amount of space back there. And it's kind of in a shelf design, so it's flat instead of going inwards like so. With the passengers treated to a pretty nice view here with the nice continuous line of the vent there. Just a really premium feeling interior from Toyota. But for the next part, we're going to go ahead and check out the trunk. So you can open the trunk a multitude of different ways, but for the sake of this video, we're going to press and hold the button on the key fob. And you can see that the trunk pops open all the way for you. Now, it's not a power trunk, so it doesn't close on its own, but it does pop open, which is the important part. Really good amount of space back here. I believe it's right around 16 cubic feet of space. Nice all-weather floor mat back here with the Avalon branding. It is wrapped in plastic, and we're going to keep it that way. But below the mat, we have a nice carpeted surface. And below that, we have all of our tools and whatnot for our spare tire that's located right underneath here. So this car does have a spare tire, which is good to see. And we also have the cargo net back there, some extra space on the side, some grocery bag hangers, and then we can also pull these little tethers right there, and it'll release the rear seats. That way we could fold them down 60-40. The cargo area also is illuminated, which is nice. Now another way we can open the trunk is that little spot right over here. You just gotta find it, and that'll pop open the trunk too. And we can also see our backup camera right underneath there. So opening up the cover to the 14.5 gallon fuel tank, we have the typical cap and tether, and you can mount the cap right there so it doesn't scratch your paint. According to the window sticker, you should be getting right around 22 in the city and 31 miles to the gallon on the highway, which is pretty darn good if you ask me. So to wrap up this video, I hope you have enjoyed the 2019 Toyota Avalon in the XSE trim level just as much as I have, and I also hope that you stay with us for future in-depth reviews.